Welcome back to the morning show here on Horizon News. Joining us now is Okpe with stories trending around the world. Hey, Oji.
Good morning, Leila. How are you?
Good.
Hi, Dr. Hitera King. It is on. Welcome back to the morning show.
Thank you very much.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Oh, well, we missed you.
Thank you. But a story that's in the headlines that you're telling us that's trending is, of course, what's taking place at ASUU with the sexual harassment bill.
Let's start with that. Good morning to you, viewers. We begin what's trending today in Nigeria. Deputy Senate President has accused members of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, of strongly opposing the passage of the Anti-Sexual Harassment Bill in the 8th Senate. While speaking at a policy dialogue in Abuja on Thursday, the senator stated that during a public hearing on the bill, some members of ASUU vehemently opposed the passage of the bill, which he says will protect university students from sexual harassment from lecturers as well as other academic and non-academic staff. This does not look good at all for ASUU.
Why would you want to oppose such a bill?
It's a strong accusation, really. But I think nothing has come out yet on the reason why they are opposing the bill. But I think it has to do with the fact that that bill had some kind of protection against consent or something like that, you know, defense for consent, I believe. I don't know if that could be the reason, because obviously if there's consent, then it's hard to argue that there was sexual harassment.
Well, it's very difficult to comment on the bill just on the basis of Senator Ovio Omagege's allegation. Because, you know, if you look at a bill, a piece of legislation as proposed, it will have clauses. And there may be certain clauses there, you know, which when considered could raise some other issues. If we had that document before us, then we'll be able to do a critical assessment of it. However, I think that what may be the concern of the university lecturers is that when you do an anti-sexual harassment piece of legislation, you know, is it that that bill, as proposed, singles out only university teachers?
Well, that's what the bill was for.
Yes,
I mean, another one.
So is it only university teachers that commit sexual harassment? How about an open law that is applicable to all persons in society?
Well, that's
I'm just speculating because I've not read the bill.
It didn't include,
you know. So, but if it is targeting,
is
targeting only university teachers, the university teachers may raise an objection and say they are being stigmatized, that this is a case of discrimination.
But they're not being
There's sexual harassment in the private sector too.
Yes,
there's sexual harassment in other places.
But the reason that this is trending is because of the documentary that the BBC has just thank you.
They're not being stigmatized. You can't be stigmatized over something you're perpetrating.
Everybody's talking about this globally. This is something that the university lecturers and the student unions need to deal with. And apparently he's also reintroduced this in the 9th Senate.
Yes.
So this is a bill that
the way I see it is whenever you have any problem in society, you name the problem that you want to solve. At the end of the day, we have a prevalent issue when it comes to sexual harassment in tertiary institutions within universities in Nigeria. There's no joke or lie about it. If they're opposed to this bill, that's of greater worry, because what we're trying to do here is protect students that should not even have to have defending over that in that kind of institution.
When you propose a bill, is that, you know, it will be debated, right? There will be input from other persons. It will go to the committee stage. So it's not Ovio Omaegege just bringing a bill, and then because we feel concerned about the theme, we just take it like that. You know, and there's nothing wrong in the university teachers themselves raising objections. But definitely, sexual harassment is a problem. And it is something that needs to be addressed. But the input of every stakeholder is useful.
Yes, I mean, it clearly just states that any lecturer that is caught harassing a student should go to jail for 14 years. And I think that should... I think it's very clean.
I don't think that's enough. 14 years? Honey, let's triple that.
Sexual harassment, not rape.
No, I'm not proposing the death penalty for sexual harassment.
I do not support capital punishment, but I am saying I don't think 14 years is enough for sexual harassment.
I'm with Leila, and I think that we should vote us in for presidency.
Yes, I agree.
Okay. Well, more on sexual harassment. Let's head over to the U.S. now with news under entertainment. Disgraced film producer Harvey Weinstein has reportedly agreed to pay the sum of $25 million in settlements to dozens of women who accused him of sexual misconduct. The film producer, who has been in a long legal battle with multiple women over allegations of rape and sexual misconduct, is said to have reached a settlement with nearly 30 women who allegedly played victims to the claims levied against him. The deal, which is awaiting final approval from the courts and individuals involved, would apply to Weinstein's numerous alleged victims in the US, Canada, Britain, and Ireland. On Wednesday, Weinstein's bail conditions were raised from $1 million to $5 million for allegedly tampering with the electronic monitor attached to his ankle.
Wow.
Okay, let's start with that bail condition being raised. I mean, what was he thinking, tampering with the ankle?
What's he been thinking all his life?
Well, he said also that he had an accident in August and he broke his spine or whatever. That's why you could see him wobbling to court right now and having that, assistant to walk around. But, you know, what a shame on him, really. But, I mean, this $25 million will apparently end a lot of the charges that were
and that's why it's worrying
as well. Why is that worrying?
Because this settlement basically also means that's it, it's done. And sometimes settlements are not as great as they seem, because we're still trying to get to the grassroots of the problem here, and it's kind of like stopping you from doing that, you know?
Right.
Well, this settlement, $25 million out of $47 million.
Yes.
The remainder will be for liabilities, including legal fees. Is for civil lawsuits, you know, put up against him by women, about 30 of them. But it's not all of them that is going to share out of it. The big figures, Ashley Judd, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Angelina Jolie, they don't want to be part of that.
I would want
Why
to
would
be
you
part
want
of
to
it.
take out of the settlement? That's admitting that he has no guilt.
To the point made by Leila, the criminal suit, there's a criminal case against him, and that's going to be in Manhattan beginning from January 6th.
Right.
So it's not as if, you know,
This was the head honcho in Hollywood.
Yes.
This is a man who effectively made a lot of actresses' careers on the alleged basis of sexual misconduct. These are the people who have come out are people that have so much to lose. We're talking about actresses like Lupita Nyong'o, like Gwyneth Paltrow, exactly. These are people who have no reason to lie whatsoever because they know that their career's at stake. So personally, I'm incensed that they could even grant this settlement.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Some of the lawyers claim that it will help to, you know, resolve some issues of people that have been going through these types
for what he has done and paying for it in the right way.
Yes, he could face life imprisonment if he is.
If Bill Cosby is in prison.
Good.
Yes, that's what.
Why isn't Harvey?
Bill Cosby says he has no apologies. And that even when he comes out, he's not going to apologize. Yeah, because he sees it as some kind of victimization.
Well, yes.
So should we take our final story?
Yes.
Teenage climate activist Greta Thunberg has been named Time Person of the Year. The 16-year-old has become the face of a new generation of environmental activists, drawing large crowds with her appearances at protests and conferences over the past year and a half. Some have welcomed her work, including her speeches challenging world leaders to do more to stop global warming, while others have criticized her, sometimes combative tone. The teenager is now the youngest to ever win the Time Award. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yes,
Congratulations.
that's amazing.
To Greta
I
Thunberg.
wanted Greta Thunberg to win the
Nobel Peace
Nobel Peace Prize,
yes.
but it didn't go to her. Hopefully that will still come. But Person of the Year by the Times is also a very good recognition.
It's a huge honor.
She's the youngest person to have been given that recognition.
Right.
The last time a young person was there was in 1927, actually. 27-year-old Charles Lindbergh, you know, for its exploits in the aviation industry. But what I find disturbing about this is the reaction of President Trump, who, instead of congratulating the young lady, was using his high office as president, you know, to tell her to use this opportunity to go and manage her anger.
She becomes an angry woman.
Did you see her response, though? She went and changed her Twitter bio to a teenager working on her anger management problem, currently chilling and watching a good old-fashioned movie with a friend.
This is the second time she's done that. She's the second time she's done that with
You know, one thing that I find fascinating...
I think she should also say to President Trump, how dare you?
How very dare you?
I would love that, but I think Tundu will not like that at all.
One thing that I find fascinating about Greta is the fact that she's a woman, a young woman who actually sticks by her word. Yeah. She talks about climate control, she talks about climate change, and she does it. She takes a 13-hour train ride to Madrid in order to attend their conferences, as opposed to taking a short flight.
I know.
You know, so it's marvelous. I don't know that I could do such.
I certainly cannot.
But if a teenager is teaching you how to manage this, you should be able to do that. I mean, it's completely brilliant. Thank you, guys.
Yes.
I will see you on Monday. Have a great day.
Yes,
enjoy your weekend.